Good morning everyone. Welcome to the second part of my trip through France, and today we're starting it off here in the mountains in the center of France, a beautiful region which looks a bit like Scotland or the Brecon Beacons in Wales. And I went up here for sunrise. The sun's now up. I was very hectic this morning trying to take photos, so I didn't film anything, and this was also first mistake I made. I was too hectic. So yesterday I did the scouting as usual, but there were deep clouds, so I didn't see much of the surrounding mountains. So I wasn't too sure which composition, which direction I wanted to photograph. So I couldn't really drill down or fine-tune a composition and know exactly how to set up. So this morning I ended up trying to take many different photos, so kind of spray and pray. And I'm not sure if this was the right choice. I got a few good ones, I think, but I don't think I got a really good one. So the conditions were beautiful with the inversion there in the background, and also the light, but I really should have fine-tuned one composition and really stuck with it, which I didn't do this morning. So this was a mistake, I think. Now the second mistake I made, didn't bring the long lens. I was too lazy. I just wanted to do a very quick hike up here. But now if you look behind me, all those hills with the side light is just looking great. And if I could now zoom in and pick out some details, this would be perfect. So always remember, even though it's heavy, try always to bring the long lens. And I certainly remember this lesson now. I mean, it's one of the rules I talk about in another video, where I say always bring the long lens, you never know. And this morning too lazy, didn't bring it, now I need it. So lesson learned, I think. Well, here I'm at the final composition of the morning, so just taking one last shot in this direction. This is where I came from, so a beautiful hike along this ridge. And I'm just waiting for a bit more light on the grassy hills on this side, because currently it's quite harsh on the right side and the contrast is too defined. So I'm thinking when the sun gets a bit higher, I also get some patches of light there on the left side. I take a final photo, and then I'm gonna hike back to the car, because I have a long drive up to Brittany today, so maybe 7 or 8 hours. And this is where I'll continue this vlog, but for now just enjoy the view a bit with me. Also, I either I showed already some video from yesterday, or I'll show it now. So now see you in Brittany. Bye. In the end, the photo of the morning I liked the most was actually the first one I took. This was when I still took my time before I went over to headless chicken mode. And the photo you see here, it was just taken before sunrise, half an hour before it. I really like it. And another photo I want to show you was taken the day before during scouting. The forest just looked so magical with the fog here, and I just had to snap a shot directly along the road. So as promised at the beginning of the trip, I also want to give you a quick tour of our camper van, because it's been great so far, especially because we also had quite a bit of rain, which is why it's a good idea to have a camper van with some space. So last time when we went to Sardinia, we just had a VW California, which is a bit smaller, or quite a bit smaller, so one meter shorter than this one. This one here is from Hannes Camper. It's 6 meters and it's 260 high, so it's just great because it's a real living space. So let's get into it. So if you look around, you see here, this is basically my work area. So you can turn both seats, which opens up the space quite a bit, and then you can sit here. And on this side here, I'm just currently charging my batteries. This is also where we eat. Then on this side we have a kitchen, which is a bit small, so not much bigger than the one we had in the VW California. But the great thing is, while somebody's sitting there, I can cook here. Then back here it's nearly a separate room. We have the sleeping area, and the great thing is So I'm 185 and I can sleep comfortably with a pillow. So the size here, it's I think 1 meter 90 centimeters in width, and yeah, it's perfect for my size. And I never had such good sleep in a camper van or a tent or on any camping trip. So this has been great. It's a very proper bed here, and beneath it it's kind of the garage. You can also access this from the back, which is where I store camera bag and my other backpack. In the back we have some food and stuff, and also we have a very big fridge here. So this is a proper sized fridge which you have in a normal kitchen. So it's great to load it up, and you could get off the grid with it for quite some time. The only problem with off the grid is with this camper van, which is a bit sad, it doesn't have so many, or yeah, it doesn't have any USB outlets. So you have those outlets for normal charging, but those only work if you're connected to a mains outlet, which we are now. So we're now here at the camp space, and for like 3 or 4 euros you usually get electricity. And if you have it, you have many of those outlets. You have one here, one at this side, and I think some more here on this side. So then it's quite easy. But if you're not connected, then the only way to charge your phone and stuff is really here at the front with a USB adapter. So yeah, it's not a deal breaker for us. So I would charge my stuff during drive, and also when we're at the campsite. I have a power bar which I charge, so that's okay. But yeah, I know that Hannes Camper change their vans quite regularly, I think every 1 or 2 years. So I hope the next version will just have more USB outlets, because they also told me right in the beginnings, they also noticed this. So I'm sure this will change, or hopefully this will change, because then you're really, yeah, you can stay off the grid quite some time, because you have like 100 liters of water, you have a lot of charging. Here we are, the battery, a big gas bottle in the back, and the most important thing for my girlfriend at least, proper toilet. So this bathroom, quite a good size, even I can sit there properly, so this is quite nice, and yeah, makes this the perfect vehicle for this photography trip here through France, because as I said, the weather wasn't so nice, and yeah, it's just nice if you have such a space to sit, to yeah, review the photos, charge the batteries, stuff like that, cook a bit, yeah, and you also have many of those windows, and all of those you see here, they have a mosquito net, which is also quite handy, because on some of the campsites there were a lot of flies, so it's good if we can just close those, keep them out. And yeah, now I'm just gonna relax a bit, maybe eat something, and then later we're heading off to the coast and take some photos, because I already was on a run this morning, 11k run, which I currently do quite a bit. We're driving to a new location, I go on a run, which is the perfect way to see an area. So an area which is in proximity to the camper van, which I could also walk to later when I want to take photos. And a run is quite good, and it's not too fast, so I can take a lot of things in. I can scout with my cell phone, so just pull it out, take a few test shots. And yeah, this morning I found something quite interesting at the beach. So we're here not yet in Brittany, we're beneath. Well, the beaches are kind of flat and boring. I didn't expect to find anything, but yeah, on low tide there is quite a nice subject. And this evening for sunset, I hope the tide will be low again. And yeah, I know it's low again, but I'm not sure if it's low enough. So we're gonna see, but there's a nice subject which I'm gonna show you now. So I'm now at the spot which I scouted this morning during the run, and there are 2 problems. First problem, sun's already gone behind those thick clouds, so there will be no light at all this evening. Second problem, which is much more severe, is I kind of misjudged the tide. So low tide is in like 100 minutes, and I thought the water would be gone much farther already. But as it is, the subject, it's still submerged. And I now had a closer look at the app I'm using, Now Tide, and yeah, it's roughly 2 meters or 1.5 meters height difference, which is needed until I can actually photograph it. So this won't happen tonight. So as I said, lights gone, sticking around 100 minutes, it will be pitch black, very dark here. So no photo this evening, but yeah, I don't worry so much about this. Tomorrow we're heading off finally into Brittany, and yeah, I have some nice locations on the list. Hopefully the weather will work, and yeah, then I'm gonna show you some beautiful cliffs, some nice views, and maybe also some lighthouses. So we'll see. But for this evening, I think I'm gonna pack it up and head back to the camper van. So I have to be honest with you, the weather the last days hasn't been so ideal for photography, but today it's looking a touch better. So if you see behind me, the clouds breaking up a bit. So there was a lot of rain yesterday. I, as usual, did a scouting run along this coast here. We are at the Crozon Peninsula, and yeah, this is really a great place. Reminds me again of some place in England, in Cornwall, Land's End. So you have steep cliffs, you have a beautiful beach up there, and yeah, it's a bit overwhelming, to be honest. So as usual, if you're used to shooting coasts where you have huge cliffs and beaches and everything, sometimes can be a bit much if you arrive there and search for a composition, because yeah, it's just so many things looking great where you could take a photo, but then if you go close and try to create a composition, it's sometimes very hard. So here I think I found a composition that works. So let's have a look what I have. So I'm currently shooting a time lapse, or trying to, because the clouds are moving quite fast. But I have this rock here on the side, kind of framing the shot on the left, and then on the right side I also have some rocks, so the steep cliffs, and in the middle we're looking towards the lighthouse and then also the beach, and the sun should be up over there, so I won't get light on this side here. So that's a little bit sad. So I don't think I'm gonna photograph this scene once the sun is up. So that's why I'm here during twilight, trying to get some long exposures in, because now the light is quite even. As to the location, there's quite a few other spots I could photograph. So there are some spots down this way, some beautiful, spectacular cliffs. Problem is, we're here in summer, so the sun's setting and rising quite far up north, so I won't get any good light there. I was already thinking shooting the Milky Way, but yeah, the forecast is kind of cloudy, so I won't see many stars while I'm down here. So yeah, I have to do with the conditions I got. So today I'm gonna do another walk, another hike along this coast, see what else I can find. And if there are some other compositions in this direction or that direction, and yeah, gonna attempt again this evening and also tomorrow morning. But for now, I'm just glad that it stopped raining for this morning and I can take some photos. And hopefully I can show you something. You can see the light that morning was really beautiful, but still I'm not 100% satisfied with the photo I got. As I already mentioned, the problem that morning was that I didn't get any light on the cliffs on the right side, and this creates some imbalance in the photo. The same evening though, I went back to another composition I had scouted a bit further down the coast, and this time the light on the cliffs during sunset really make this a portfolio-worthy shot.